The volume of a pyramid V is calculated using the formula V equals 1/3 AH, where A is the area of the base and H is the height of the pyramid. Rearrange the formula to solve for the base area A. We're solving for A. Formula. Let's keep our equal sign straight in this process. Since we are solving for A, I want to indicate that by placing it at the top of the right side. That way I know when I'm done. I want to get everything else on the left, and A is the only thing that's going to be left on the right. So we'll use PEMDAS, but we're going to go reverse direction. Let's identify all the operations we'll have to eliminate. One of them is division, which may not be obvious. You'll see in a minute. And then also multiplication. The A is being multiplied by H as well. Okay. Let's look at that division. I know that 1/3 times anything is the same as that thing being divided by 3. Some people use it as a shortcut. But I thought it'd be good to rewrite the problem so that you can see the division step. Now, this step is completely optional. You can still solve it the same way without it, but it is easier to see the operations when you do it this way. So let's go ahead and eliminate that division. Since we're dividing by 3, we're going to multiply by 3, which is the inverse operation, and that's going to those going to divide out. So we've eliminated the division, and now we end up with 3V is equal to AH. All right, next, we still have multiplication. A is being multiplied by A. The inverse operation for multiplication is division. So we're going to divide this time to get rid of the multiplication. When we do that, then H is going to go out. We're going to divide out, and we can strike out. We've gotten rid of the multiplication, and so now we have our final result. A is isolated on the right. So A is equal to 3V over H. So here is an application to why we study literal equations. Suppose we want to know the base area of a pyramid with a volume of 72 cubic meters and a height of 12 meters. Well, in this particular example, we want to know the base area of the pyramid. All right, so I'm talking about the area of the base of a pyramid. That's a good example. All right, we can use the formula we just derived in this earlier. A equals to 3V over H. And all we really need to do is plug in the values. Let's see what we got. We know that the volume is 72 cubic meters, and we know that the height is 12 meters. So and that's really the only two unknowns that we had. So let's substitute those values in. Be very careful on what you substitute. Make sure you put the 72 in the right place and you put the 12 in the right place according to the formula. Once you've done that, you might need a calculator, or maybe you can do this in your head. Either way, you'll end up with A is equal to 18. And so the base area of a pyramid has a volume of 72 cubic meters and a height of 12 meters. It's just 18 square meters. The area A of a trapezoid is calculated using the formula A equals to 1/2 B plus C times H, where H is the height of the trapezoid and B and C are the bases of the trapezoid. Rearrange the formula to solve for base B. We are solving for B. Here's the original formula. And we want to keep our equal sign straight. Let's move B to the top since we are solving for B. Okay, we're going to use PEMDAS in reverse, and we're going to use it twice actually in this case because there's an outside and an inside. We have terms inside the parentheses and we have terms outside the parentheses. So let's identify those terms. We got division, we got multiplication, we got parentheses or grouping symbols, and then inside the parentheses we have a addition. Okay? So let's go on. We know that 1/2 times anything is actually the same thing as just dividing it by 2. So that's where our division is. So according to our chart here, the first thing we should get rid of here, the operation we need to be concerned about with is, let's eliminate the division. The inverse operation for division is multiplication. We're dividing by 2, so let's multiply both sides by 2. Multiply both sides by 2, then these 2's are going to go away, and we have eliminated the division, and we can check that off. Next, let's simplify. Now we are trying to solve for b, and we still have that h on the outside of the parentheses. We're still on the outside. So we're multiplying by h. The inverse operation for multiplication is division. So we're going to divide by h to get rid of that h. We're going to simplify. And once we have eliminated the h, all we're left with is b plus c. And keep in mind that on the left, nothing is really, there's nothing being simplified there. We're mostly concerned with make sure we do the same thing on both sides. Okay, so we've eliminated the division, we've eliminated the multiplication, and because there's nothing else being multiplied times the parentheses b plus c, we actually kind of got rid of those too. But technically we're on the inside of them. So now we're at the addition that's inside of the parentheses. We know that subtraction is the opposite of addition, so we are going to subtract that c from both sides. Once we've done that, we know that those are going to cancel or be eliminated actually. And let's simplify. On the right, we'll have b all by itself. And we have on the left, we have 2a divided by h minus c. And that is the expression for b. So that is our formula now to find the base b, given the area, the height, and the other base. What is the remaining base of a trapezoid with an area of 80 square feet, a height of 10 feet, and one base, we know, measuring 5 feet? Since we're looking for the remaining base, we've already found a formula that finds that. We just derived it. B equals to twice the area divided by the height minus c. Okay, so we know what the area is, and we'll circle that. We know a is equal to 80. We know that the height is 10. So h is equal to 10. And we have a one base we know, which is 5 feet. And we'll call that c, because we're looking for b. So if we do our substitution, we'll make sure we put a in the right place, the value for 10 in the right place, the value for h in the right place, and c in the value for c in the right place. And let's draw arrows to make sure. Okay. So this is where you might need a calculator, or maybe you can do this in your head. And at any rate, you'll end up with 16 minus 5, or just 11. And so now we know what b is. We can answer the question. B is 11 feet. And there is the missing base, mystery solved. Now it is your time to do a couple of problems.